Today, our first guest is an actor whose roles include Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Skeleton Twins, and Beyblade X. Today, he joins us as the voice of Cryo character Freminet. Please welcome Paul Castro Jr. And next, she's an actress and director whose credits include Attack on Titan, Guilty Gear Strive, and also Beyblade X. Today, she joins us as the voice of Hydro Archon Furina de Fontaine. Please welcome Amberly Connors.
We should make this the Beyblade panel, I guess, right?
This is now a Beyblade panel, assuming direct control. Well, we've got a pretty big Beyblade. We've had a Beyblade tournament going on all weekend, and
really,
the finals are today.
Oh my gosh, what?
Finals are today. Tell you what, if you're around for the day, maybe you guys could present the winning cup or something like that.
Oh my gosh! All right, let's do it.
We'll talk about that after this, but for now, I'll talk about this thing. Well, first of all, have you been enjoying your time here in Miami?
I love it. I mean, my hair is dealing with it in an interesting way, but Miami, you guys have been amazing.
Relatable. My hair has been weird, but my skin has been so friggin' hydrated.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just like, oh, it's nice. I'm not a crocodile. We're good.
The trade-off.
Love it, yeah.
They call us the Sunshine State, but we're really the Steam Bath State.
Steam
bath.
bath. So good
Right.
for you. Steam
Yes,
it.
that's very much so. So what I'd love to do is just for each of you, how did your roles come about in this wonderful IP we got going on here?
Oh gosh, I've auditioned for Genshin since like the first round of things, and you just kind of keep doing it and keep doing it, and I just got to a point where I was like, I'm never gonna work on this game. They've said no to me like 20 other times, and then this batch of characters came around, I auditioned for it, and I got called in. I didn't know what character I got, and I didn't even know if it was like a playable character. You could have just been like an NPC or something, and then they wound up showing me the breakdown. I was like, I did it! I cracked the code! And he's such an interesting and sweet character, so it was fun to play a character that's kind of different than who I am on the base level, so that was fun.
No, that's awesome. Similar situation where like I was, I think Eula was the first character I ever auditioned for. And which, oh my gosh, like Susie does an amazing job. I'm so happy she got it. She's one of my good friends. And but like been auditioning. I'm just like, I don't know. And it's always under like weird code names. So I'm like, I don't even know what I'm reading on like half the time. And then I never played Genshin, so I didn't know what an Archon was. Like it said she was an Archon, and I was like, I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna play her like I would play her. And we usually don't get pictures or anything, so we don't even know what the characters look like. So I'm just like, here you go. Could be strong and wrong, baby. I don't know. But yeah, and then I booked it, and I was so excited. And I was like, oh, she's like important. Like, that's awesome. Yeah, so it was super fun.
Oh, that's always nice to you. So when you kept coming up to bat on that, was that just a case of, did they kind of have a master plan? It's like, oh, might be something for you later, or?
I would say that maybe that is part of the, because I can't speak on behalf of anybody, but I remember because I voiced this character that's not like really out yet in Honkai Star Rail. He's like one of the Stonehearts. His name's Opal. And like we did a trailer called like the Stonehearts trailer for that, and they put our names in the credits. And I remember I had auditioned for a while, and I kept getting like callbacks, like they would have me do redirects. Same publisher, but it's not the same studio who's making that stuff. And then I remember the director, he was like, you have been getting so close to so many of these different characters you auditioned for. We were just kind of waiting for the right one that made the most sense. So I do think that certain studios do that, or they keep an eye on you. If you're a good actor, they're like, we'll find a spot for you eventually.
Yeah, and that's because we talk about that a lot. We've done some, it's like voice actor panels and for neophytes and stuff like that. And always just like, make your choice, stick to it. And always try to show something different. And remember, you'll never know when you make a choice, and it's going to boomerang back into something.
They always say you're not auditioning for the role, you're auditioning for the next role.
I say you're auditioning to be invited to audition again. that's kind of what I was just like way too. So that's always been my thing in the theater scene in Orlando. So that's the way too. This game has such a rich mythology. I mean, there's so much going on to it, too. Do you think, first of all, was it daunting to come into the roles? Now, granted, there's a lot of anime. You're going on in, and you get the basic stuff like this way, too. But when you tried to read up on it, was it like, oh, there's a lot more going on here than, oh, I know that Pokemon?
This is a great question. I would say they're like we go in trying to do our best always, but there is kind of like a wait for something that like people find very important. They care a lot about it. So it's like, okay, like I have to really make sure like, I bring my A game to this because the audience is so huge. As for the lore and mythology, this is where having a good director is so important because like I didn't play Genshin. There's so much that happened before Fontaine. I'm like, reading up on what I could. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. There's so much. I just know Daddy Longlegs is great. Like, Zhongli. I'm just like, I just know about him. It's fine. So like the director and of course like, the client, like they spend so much time explaining like the world and giving us the details of like what's important, like the relationships and stuff. And that really makes a difference because we're blind without it.
Yeah, I think the directors do a huge, tremendous job of giving us all that info, and then we have the clients sometimes are on the calls as well, and they have all of this backstory because they've been working on it as well. So there's that collaboration of all of those parties involved. I actually played Genshin when it first came out. I was like a huge Breath of the Wild fan, and I saw it this game. I was like, whoa, anime Breath of the Wild? Sign me up for that. So I had played kind of like the first like 1.0 to 2.0, and then I started spending too much money, and I was like, I need to be responsible here and focus on my work. So I stopped playing, but I had an idea at that point of how big this game was. So like through the auditioning process, maybe it was hurtful for me early on thinking of like, okay, this is a really big deal. You don't want to screw this up. And again, they're code names, so sometimes you can decipher what you're reading for. But oftentimes we don't get too much information. But yeah, I think for the first kind of crew of people, they probably had no idea it would be as big as it is. And then the fandom exploded. And then kind of each iteration or zone or nation from there on, I think you'd have to not have a phone to know how big Genshin Impact is now. So it's kind of crazy.
Absolutely. For both of you, what's been the best thing to come out of this particular gig?
Oh man, I mean, it's so, well, first of all, like I feel so lucky to have voiced Furina because she's so well written, she's got so much depth, and it's not every day you get to step into a role like that where you get to play and there's just so many layers and levels. So that's really special to me. But more than that, it's just like how many people her story has touched. Like I have so many people coming up to me saying how like, how much it affected them or how much they relate to her experience. Even though, I mean, like nobody here has like been pretending to be somebody else for 500 years, but there is like that masking element, which a lot of people experience or pretending to be somebody you're not, like even if it's like in a social interaction, and that can be painful. And I just think that's so beautiful to have like that connection to people.
Yeah, I got to do this event. It was called Thelxie's Fantastic Adventures, and I would not have classified that event as a fantastic adventure. It was heartbreaking and wrenching about this woman who's dealing with the loss of her son, and like how to cope with that kind of loss and abandonment. And I did not know that that's what I was going to get into for the recording with like kind of a kid's game in a way that they went on that deep of a level. But that was something really cool, and I think it spoke to a lot of people, that storyline. Unfortunately, they do these things that are like timed events to where like if you didn't play them when they came out, you can't play them. But thankfully, I had streamed me playing that event. So if you haven't done it, you can go to YouTube and watch me playing through it. But that was a really special event that they had.
Nice. One of the more unique challenges. There's plenty of regular animation, but in video games, of course, there's usually a call for a lot more like efforts and unusual ones than as opposed to narrative stuff. So, what was the most unusual or wackiest effort you've ever been called upon for?
I mean, like, I love to make weird sounds. So it wasn't so much like weird stuff that was scripted, but like we usually do like an A, B take, or sometimes a C. And I'll just throw some stuff out. Like I'll do one that's like a little bit normal, and then I'll do what I want in my heart of hearts, which is like really weird. So there's some really strange sounds that made it into the game that I'm very surprised and happy they kept for some conversations.
and for the audience, if you don't know what effort is, it's when you just have to make an affected sound to your character. Something happens to your character. Okay, you've been punched. Okay, ow, you've been punched in the gut. Ooh, you've been punched in the chin. Oh, you were falling into a wood chipper. Yeah, it's like in video game stuff, you get asked to do some pretty crazy things.
In Genshin particularly, it was interesting because my character, he talks very kind of quiet and doesn't have a lot of energy. But when he's fighting, he's like really intense and almost like bloodthirsty. So we had fun being able to like really have him go at it. And I'm kind of a nerd too, where I've done a bunch of games, and you don't want the efforts to always sound the same. So I like to like play around with different consonants to where people always think of like "hia," like H being the first consonant you use. So I try to be like, what if that H was a K? Kia! And just try to like create some variation so not every character sounds like Link from Zelda. So
I realized about a year and a half into it. Oh yeah, all my punches are just Ryu from Street Fighter.
That's so fair, yeah.
Hadouken.
Yep. Or in my case, really Sagat, because that was my favorite.
Nice.
This way too. So, well, friends, thank you so much for indulging my capricious curiosity. And on behalf of this audience and myself, I just want to thank you both. Thank you for your talents and the professionalism and the hard work you put into these roles and your greater body of work. You both had absolutely spectacular careers and brought a lot of entertainment to so many audiences. And thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, yeah.
So. Yeah, so like I said, I'll just come out and take hands, and like I said, one question. Don't ask for line readings and stuff like that, and make sure the questions involve both of them. All right, who wants to go first? I'll give you 2 pieces of candy. Whoever goes first, I will bribe you.
I raise it to 3.
Okay. All right, this one here. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Sophia. If you could voice any other character, who would it be?
In Genshin?
Well, sure.
Oh.
I love your cosplay. So I will go ahead. I would want to be Daddy Longlegs. They will not hire me as Zhongli Daddy Longlegs, but like he's like such a snack, like with the long legs. Like, come on.
My gosh, I feel like Ito would be really fun. He's got like a close to my personality, so I feel like that would be really fun to play.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Who would you cast them as?
Oh, wait, this is a lot of pressure.
The pressure is on.
I was not prepared for the follow-up.
Not prepared for this.
There's no wrong answers.
Yes.
I feel like you guys do so well as your parts. I can't really see you as anything else.
That's
Well,
the
thank
best
you.
answer you could have.
Now you're gonna get 3.
Nice. Also, this is totally like an unintentional Fontaine panel. Like, welcome to
Right.
Fontaine. Like,
The French are here.
we're yes.
And we got another one we want to throw out. Okay. Hey, what's your name?
My name is Jacob.
What you got?
So my question for both of you is, how do you feel you would interact with your own characters if they were real? Like, Furina in front of you and then Freminet in front of you. How do you feel you'd interact with them? Would you get along with them? How would that be like?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I would give her a hug. I would give her the longest hug and be like, must protect the baby child. Yeah, we would go have a tea party, obviously, and we would snack. And I like a tea. I like a high noon tea, wee baguette. I am actually part French, so I'm allowed to say that, I think, so it's okay.
There you go.
So, yeah, how about you?
I don't think I have any French in me, so I can't speak to that. But I think Freminet would also give him a hug, man. He's seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
He's been through a lot of pain at the House of the Hearth under the previous knave. And maybe we'd go swimming, hang out with make some penguins, swim with some Tidalga, and try and break him out of his shell, do some magic tricks.
Speaking of the penguins, did you see the amazing cosplay of your character where they had the penguin that
The
opens
big
up?
life-size penguin.
the
I signed
actual
that
penguin.
thing,
That's amazing. Yeah, I was so impressed.
You guys are so talented with
So
your cosplay.
amazing,
Seriously,
yeah.
you guys always do such great jobs. It's always so fun to see our characters.
Cool. Great question. Thank you.
You just got all this
Yeah.
candy.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that's awesome.
just keep it on there. Hey, what's your name?
My name is Myth. Is there any advice you give someone who wanted to get into specifically voice acting for games or voice acting for Genshin or anything at all?
Yeah, there's so much. Well, first of all, I would highly recommend this website. I want to be a voiceactor.com. I say this because back when I was 15, I sat down and Googled how to become a voice actor, and this website did not exist. And I had to learn the hard way and make so many mistakes. And I'm like, there's a website for it now. So definitely check it out, read everything on there. And then obviously, highly recommend getting involved in theater. Voice acting is acting, so having the acting basis is the most important thing. your voice doesn't have to be a certain way. Like everybody can, everybody's voice is like so unique to themselves and, has a place in projects. And then practice cold reading. I went to a talk that Jennifer Hale did, who is amazing. She is a queen. She is so freaking good and just a wonderful human being. And she recommended everybody do, I think it was 5 minutes of fiction and 5 minutes of nonfiction every day out loud. Just cold reading, where you take something that you haven't seen before and you read it out loud, because all of our scripts, we don't get them in advance. We don't get to practice, unlike theater or film.
Yeah, the cold reading is so important because when you get booked for a lot of video games, they're moving so fast, you don't get any time to rehearse these lines. So you're reading them, you're hearing the reference of the Japanese if you're doing like an RPG or something that was originally done in Japanese, and then it's go. And you might be entering into a scene where your whole family was just slaughtered, and you got to be able to tap into that instantly. So the cold read is so huge, and really figuring out the things that make you tick. I went to college and I was trained under the Meisner technique.
I also do Meisner.
Oh, no
It's
kidding.
So
Should we do some repetition right now?
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
It's, I think, being able to have a tool chest of things that work for you. So reading kind of like Stanford Meisner's books, Stanislavski, Uta Hagen, Michael Chekhov. There's so many different forms of acting, and you don't have to like only use one thing. It's whatever works for you, and that's kind of what I did. I think there's tons specifically for voice acting. Crispin Freeman has a podcast called Voice Acting Mastery. I used to listen to that every day at the gym just to kind of like immerse myself in that world, and you can pick little pieces of people's stories and be like, oh, that person went and trained with that person. Oh, that person worked at that theater. Oh, they went on this website. And you just start like stealing from the people who did it before you. And also there's a book by Tara Platt and Yuri Lowenthal that has so many things about voice acting. And I think Julia, what's her name? She has the voice acting for video games book that just came out. Benikoff, I'm going to say her name wrong. But anyway, there's a voice acting for video games books. Just like constantly consume as much of the media and resources that you can because they're super helpful.
And I swear I will wrap this up, man. We could just sit here and talk about this forever. Piggybacking off that, I also recommend reading some directing books or listening to some podcasts about directing so you know what it's like on the other side of the glass, because it can be so easy to get in your head about stuff and feel judged, but the other people on the other side want you to succeed. They want you to do well. It's a collaboration. They are not judging you. They want you to do your best. So they're kind of on your team, and it can be so easy to kind of frame it as like, oh, I'm spiraling and everybody hates me and I'm not doing this right. But no, actually, it's not what's happening.
I think actually one of the most important things you can be is like directable.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to come to the table with ideas and choices, bold choices, and be prepared for the director to say, that was great, but let's try it like this. And you have to not take that personally and think like, I am terrible, I should not have booked this. You have to be ready to say, I gave it a shot, I put myself out there, I was vulnerable, but let's try another idea. And maybe the director will say, bad choice on my part. Let's go back to what you did.
It totally happens.
But it's about exploring all those different avenues and not getting upset by, somebody wanting to try something different. It should be a collaboration.
Totally. Agreed.
I don't know if it's happened already today, but check the program guide. We have another offer upstairs, voice actor review. Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, that's something where we roll a dice and there's cold readings, little sides and stuff like that.
That's
and they're
awesome.
not, some are anime, some video games, some PSAs, some commercials, because that's the one thing too. Like, you want to be an animator, that's great, but if you want to be a voice actor, you got to be able to sell toothpaste. You got to be able to do PSAs and stuff like that, yeah. And my short version, I usually run that panel, but Elgin was great at it, so I thought, but I always say this, it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So keep that pace. Again, be an actor. It's okay if you want to do this, but be an actor is what I do. And one thing I'm saying now, especially if somebody your age, your generation has the ability to create your own stuff way, way more than certainly my generation had at anything else. I always tell everybody, especially if you want to get animation, you want to be a voice actor for animation? find an animator your age. Find somebody who wants to create animation and find a partnership with them. I always tell everybody, it's like, if you're a young Robert De Niro, go find your young Martin Scorsese. And if you don't know those names, ask your parents. And then form a partnership with them and create, because you have this wonderful potential. So use it, young lady. Here, you got a strawberry. Here's one for you.
And just another thing, too, because I think it's important, and it applies to all things in life. It's a rising tide raises all ships.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people see other people on social media with anything and they get angry that somebody's succeeding and they allow that to kind of deter from their own artistic pursuits. Like, find your community and remember, somebody else's success, they're accomplishing what you're hoping to accomplish. Like, try to learn from those experiences rather than being resentful of it. And you're in your own journey. You have your own story. Stop worrying about other people's.
Yeah.
And we don't get to see all of the stuff that happens to get people where they are. So you might see one person get this huge thing and be like, where do they come from? And it's like, oh, I've lived in New York for 10 years and I've been busting my butt and this is finally my big break. And someone, you think you just pop up. So try to learn from people who are doing the thing that you want to do. Be valuable. I mean, we could talk about this forever.
No,
but
we could. No,
listen to podcasts.
No, I want to piggyback off of that. No, like it's so true. Like be kind, be humble, be professional. What's meant for you will come. There are so many things that I got heartbroken over missing out on because I wasn't in the right area at the right time. Or I auditioned for something really cool that I got attached to and I didn't book it. But what's meant for you will come to you. And there's so many wonderful opportunities that I never would have even known about or existed, or Furina, Genshin wasn't a thing 10 years ago. I've been doing this for 18 years, by the way, so I have no life. That's all I've been doing. But so it's just things that are so special to you. Or I voiced Ino in Guilty Gear Strive, and I was a huge fan of Guilty Gear growing up. It was one of my favorite fighting games, and Ino was always my favorite character. And I never thought I'd get to voice that character because she already had a voice, and it just worked out where I got to audition for her, and then I booked her. So you just really have no idea. So just supporting people and being a good person is so important. Yeah, lots of patience. Okay, shutting it down.
I'll add this, my favorite Steve Martin quote, become so good they can't ignore you.
Yep.
That's right, too. So, all right, we got something else. Oh, and actually, okay, the eye patch. Oh, okay, that's fine. What was your name?
I'm Kaz.
What you got?
If you could choose any moment or any scene that you recorded, obviously line readings aside, what has been your favorite moment or scene to record?
I think for me, and specifically with Furina and Genshin, it would be the conversation between Focalors and Furina, because I also voice Focalors, for those of you who don't know. We recorded all of Focalor first, and then we went back and I reacted to myself as Furina and responded, and then we listened to it together, and then we did pickups for the characters to make sure it flowed. We spent so much time just even discussing the character of Focalors and how to portray her, and then picking a voice with the client, and it was wonderful.
I think there was a scene, it might have been an Arlecchino story where it's there's a ghost child basically, and Linny comes up to Freminet at Navia's place, and he's like, "Why aren't you telling me? I'm your brother. You got to tell me these things." And he's like, "You don't get it. We can't abandon this person." And there's a huge brotherly moment between the two where he's hiding this info, and it's this familial bonding moment between the three, because obviously Linny and Lynette are siblings and Freminet is a foster child. So you kind of see that bonding moment between the three. That was cool. And also, one of the first things I recorded was Freminet drowning in the primordial seawater. And that was pretty I was like, all right, we're just jumping into this, all right. Yeah. This guy's trying to kill me and all this. Yeah, so fun stuff.
That's awesome.
What's on your collective dockets? Any projects that you're allowed to share with us?
For any of you who watch Don the Don, I voice acrobatic Silky, and thank you so much. I cried a lot. Well, there's a theme. I cried a lot. I'll do something tragic. I cry a lot, but highly recommend it. And the new season is coming out. I am not in the new season, but if you watch season 1, you can find me.
Heck yeah. We've got season 2 of Go-Go Loser Ranger happening right now on Hulu. So we're on episode 4 of that. I voiced one of the main guys in that. And then also Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quux, I voiced one of the main guys in that, Shuji Ito. That's fun.
Heck yeah.
What else am I? Oh, and Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma just came out, and I voiced one of those romanceable boys. He's Italian, and he's really, this guy is a character, man. He's like, ciao, bravissimo! He's screaming at the top of his lungs.
I love it. Oh my God.
Check those things out.
It's so good.
Right. We hope y'all enjoyed this Bebe plano.
Yeah, welcome to Beyblade.
One final question. Would you like to take a picture with this wonderful audience?
I would love
totally.
to.
All right, everybody. We want to invite everybody come towards
do
the
it.
stage. Not on the stage, but everybody come up towards the stage. Want to take a picture of these folks and all of you. Now, the way this works is we want to keep kind of like a hole here because that way you get all the picture and get the camera there. So you, on this side, you can come on up. This side, come on.